Hey guys. Oh, hold on. I still need to disable Roman because he's quite annoying. I just wanted to talk about cyberpunk77 for a second. And, what better place to talk about that game than GTA 4? Probably to this day still one of the pretty much the ruling champion as best open world game ever made. Maybe Witcher 3 is better, I don't know, but when it comes to like modern times, you know, our current day, I think this one pretty much stands as the best one. Cat made sure of that. Yeah, what I just want to talk about is that whether or not CD Product Red is gonna fix, you know, the insane amount of bugs there are in the game, or glitches, or whatever. Whether or not, you know, all the current massive problems that they have, you know, will be resolved or not. I don't think it's ever going to be as good as this game because it's already fundamentally so much less complex and detailed. Like, I just looked up a video where they were talking about, or where this guy was demonstrating how the FPS is not going to be too great here because I haven't like optimized it as well as I could have by now. Oh, and the game is a little modded, so if I feel the need to go start shooting people or start some action or something, I have a few mods. This is that. Don't look at this gameplay as like the perfect example of what vanilla GTA 4 is. But anyway. But yeah, I have a mod that does the native trainer that allows me to select any character model I want, and I like this guy, so that's why that happens. But anyway, I think the core of what GTA 4, or I mean what Cyberpunk77 is, you know, it's just already so much less than GTA 4. Or even GTA 5, because I mean, let's be honest, GTA 5 is a complete and total disappointment. Like, it had none of the things that made GTA 4 good. Like, it is a watered down, absolute failure of a game. Like, you can like the story or whatever. Like, I haven't played the game myself, but Cat's video is all you need to know to just never want to see it. Like, I was actually excited to play GTA 5, but when I saw Cat's video, I was like, oh god. Oh god. Like, I understand that, you know, it's kind of unfair for me to say, like, oh, this game is absolutely nothing on, you know, the other one, even though I haven't played it yet. But, like, seriously. You know, the complete lack of details. But, you know, GTA 5's details, like, I would say everything GTA 5 has, everything GTA 4 has, GTA 5 still has. It's just less, you know? Like, Cyberpunk 77... I mean, obviously, it's not, you know, a GTA title, so they didn't feel the need to keep the same details or anything like that. But still, like, crowds disappear when you make chaotic shit happen? Really? Like, what? You know, like, I kind of hate it when in this game, sometimes cars in the very, very far off distance over there despawn when I turn around. Like, I kind of get annoyed at that. But that happens so rarely. Same with the cops. The cops don't spawn behind you like they came out of a fucking clown car. Like it's a complete fucking joke. Like, I have a mod that can just make me go disable wanted anytime I want, so just... Look at the fucking reactions. I'm not even trying to highlight that. But it just... Yeah, so like... Get out of the car. Get out of here. Notice how I'm not even... The cops aren't even coming after me yet because nobody's called for the police. Here, let me... We're not doing this for immersion anyway. Let's get to... Let me just activate the HUD for a second. Alright. There we have the map and everything. Pretty sure there's a button that enhances it, but I haven't played GTA 4 in a long time. I only booted this up because you know, there's a certain, like, level of, like, incompetence where you just start to... Well, you just start to want to look at the older thing that you used to love. Just, you know, for no other reason than just, look at this. Look at this. Cops aren't even after me. That's how good the system is. Here, let's see. I just shot the cop car. What happens?
We gotta split up and spread out. One false move,
look.
son, you get dropped.
Alright, I'm gonna try and run from these guys towards the other cop that already existed. Hey, did he come out of nowhere? No, he was already there. He was already patrolling. Oh man, that's so nice. That's so nice to, like, you know, get arrested by a police officer that, like, actually existed in the game world. Like, obviously, you know, them spotting them arbitrarily from a few blocks away is still, in a sense, not real, but at least it makes sense, you know? Like, you get... It's realistic enough to feel like they got, close to you. Also, the fact they don't shoot you, like, that really bothers me, by the way. Like,
Get out of the way.
Like, look at these guys.
His ass is mine! Your last chance to come out of this alive! LCPD! Everyone down!
And look, they don't kill me. But to be fair, I do actually think that GTA 4, they also shouldn't try and kill you. I would have loved it if the game had a surrender option. Like, that would have been nice. But you get the idea, you know? Cops fucking... Like, it really bothers me that GTA 5 didn't do that. Like, they can still arrest you in GTA 5, but they won't... Like, if you point a gun at them, they'll just open fire, you know? I hate that. Like, it's insulting to police officers. Like, it makes them look like these maniacs that just murder people indiscriminately. Like, I know that they make jokes about that, and even this game is full of, you know, police brutality, you know, kind of jokes. But, like, they don't actually do that in the game because... Despite the fact that this game is, you know, clearly like a parody of real life, in real life, the cops still don't just, like, fucking shoot anyone they want. Because, you know, they're cops. Their main focus is to keep people safe, including the person who might be committing a crime. It's only once you start to endanger their lives that they're cleared to shoot you as well. And... Anyway, it really bothers me how Cyberpunk, it's just, you know, it's just graphics. The detail in the game world is so, like let's say they fix all the bugs. Unless they add content patches, just patches full of content. Like, content, nothing else. Only content. Now, let's go to this nice pier. I think it's just dead in the water already. You know, like, Far Cry is pathetic. Like, Far Cry has always had a incredible lack of detail in its game world. Far Cry 2 not so much, but definitely the newer ones. But fuck me, Far Cry, like, even the Far Cry games look like they have more detail in their world than this. It's just... Like, fucking hell, The Getaway, Black Monday, this obscure open-world game that takes place in London, that came out in 2004, has more detail than this. Even though the AI for people when you start shooting could just be described as, oh, when the player shoots gun, run away. this kind of shit too. Like obviously the game is parkour, but I find it funny that this is more a gripe against GTA 5 that they don't have parkour in that game. Well, they do have parkour, but not as much. But yeah, like I remember thinking, in fact, I remember the gaming world thinking back in the day that this game is really boring. And, you know, I can kind of see that they had a point, because you know, there isn't all that much I can do to interact with these people. But fuck me, it's more than games today. Oh, there's a nice car. Let's take that one. Oh hey, I have to shoot the window so for it to open faster. Who would have known? And I have to press W and S to like hotwire it faster.
You're a man, so the world is.
Let me just lower the audio so you guys can hear me easily.
Your shoulders, stress. Something genetic inside you.
But yeah, like, I mean, the vehicle physics in this game is in debate, but I think you can safely say it's superior to GTA 5. For no other reason than it feels like it has more impact. Like, a lot of people call the physics floaty in GTA 4, and whatever. Still feels more real than GTA 5. Like, GTA 5, it's like, it's you know, like, this stuff that you see here, like, the way it, like, moves based on the environment, that seems to... It does happen in GTA 5, but it's toned down so much it doesn't seem to happen at all. Alright, let me just turn this stupid radio off. But yeah, I mean, the radio, like, I'm not sure if the game is... I don't know. Like, obviously I haven't played cyberpunk77 because my computer would just... My computer would get a heart attack and die if it tried to run that game. It would get a heart attack and it would die within seconds. Yeah, I'm leaving the main city, but that's fine. I'll come back here. But yeah, it's... I don't know. This is just like a little fucking rant video, but seriously, man. Like, games have gone downhill so hard, it's not even funny anymore. Like, it's... Name any, like, game, just from any, like, from any game series, any genre, any whatever, and you'll just find that whatever, like, new sequel that has been released in the last 10 years is severely inferior. GTA 5 is one of the most bought games ever. And this game, GTA 4, blows it out of the water. Like, if I was the developers of Rockstar, I would have just deleted GTA 5 after Chromecat's video. I would have okay, clearly we didn't do a good enough a job. Like, we either just go back and update this game or just make a new one, because clearly this new one is not doing it. And you know, like, and obviously, like, from, like, a financial standpoint, GTA 5 is a massive success. Here, let's go back to the main city. It's more interesting than, oh, fuck, my light. Look at that detail. I'm sure that that's not in Cyberpunk. Anyway. Like, you know, like, games have... Yeah, like, talk about Far Cry for a second. You know, Chromecat showed that video with Far Cry... Actually, hold on one second. Let's crash into this guy. Oh, look at that. I didn't get launched into space for no reason. You know, I just... Man, it's almost like the developers gave a shit. Well, anyway, let me just get away from the crash site real quick. But yeah, like, Far Cry 2. Like, I'm pretty sure most people would have looked at Far Cry 2 as, like, a pretty boring game. You know, just sort of... You know, they literally call it Far Drive 2. Some people call it. I get it. You know, you drive around from place to place and try and shoot people. It's kind of boring. It's strange how these boring early 2000 games still kick the living shit out of these AAA, like, oh, look at how cool I am, like, modern fucking games. I mean, this game, like, besides, I think the Euphoria, the physics engine, is definitely what keeps it from, like, if it did not have the physics engine, it would definitely, be, less detailed than most of the games that came before it. But, besides that fact, like, it already like, it's, like, for instance, the fact that these guys are... I did nothing.
It's your friendly neighborhood superstar.
I mean, the dialogue is better anyway, but yeah. I mean, just look at this guy. Like, his model was specifically created for this guy. Like, my dude, next to him, you can see that my arms are, like, bigger than his, or smaller, depending on who it is. You know, like, there's... Look at that guy, look at that guy. Look how pathetic his legs are. Like, I don't know who this is. I think this guy's name is, like, Street or something. Or look at the physics. Oh, yeah, I could grab up his phone and throw it back to him. Look at that. I don't even have to explain how this is more detailed. It just is. I don't even have to explain it. Like, it's just obvious. All you need to do is pay attention and you can just see it. Look at the different necks and everything. Like, this guy's neck is slightly forward, and maybe that's the animation, but still. Like, it just... Or like these things. I mean, well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure those are in GTAIV, but... It's... You know, it's, I think I put a comment on one of the glitch videos of cyberpunk77, but it was like, GTA 4 makes GTA 5 look like shit. GTA 5 makes Cyberpunk look like shit. What is Cyberpunk going to make look like shit? Like, I wanna see that game. Is it Big Rigs Over the Road Racing Part 2? Yeah, let's go, people. 31 December. Big Rigs Over the Road Racing Part 2. Yeah, actually, let's talk about Big Rigs. Why is that game so bad, or so infamous? Because it was quite literally a game in its early alpha released out into the public as though it were fine. Like, whoever got them to release that, like whatever publisher it was, those guys are assholes. They're absolute assholes for doing that. And it was just made to make a quick bug, and obviously nobody bought it because it was fucking garbage, but people don't forget that. Like, time does not forget laziness of that level. Like, nobody's going to... Yes, sir. Nobody is going to look at GTA 4 and be like, oh man, that game, that fucking the glitch fest, that was so incredibly unfinished that everybody hated it and laughed at how bad it was. Nobody's gonna say that. Nobody's saying that about this game. Like, it was made with care. Like, the people who made this game, they obviously gave a shit. Like, this whole place, like, you know, like, that's why the HUD at the beginning was disabled, because I was playing the game without the HUD. Because I was trying to get as immersive possible. And if you just walk around, like, it's amazing how much, like, once you take away the shooting from GTA 4, you know, like, the shooting at people with your guns or whatever, and the combat and all that, it just becomes a pretty cool, real-life, you know, walking sim. Like, I know that's, you know, I know that walking simulators are not something that most people are interested in playing, but seriously, like, you know, if one is as bustling with detail as this, like, just the fact that all these people are so different from each other, like, I know that doesn't, like, obviously, even Cyberpunk gets that point right. That was a slow motion mod. It's mapped to the same button as the sound off. But, oh, look at that. I'm having trouble steering because that place over there was sand, which jammed up the wheels, making it harder for me to drive. See, like, it's so, there's so much detail. And, like, honestly, GTA 4... Like, if I'm gonna be entirely honest, I say it's actually kind of a disappointing game. Like, they could have done more detail. Like, way more. Oh, look, I'm slow... Because of the angle of the geometry, I was slowly going to the right, see? that's like, I don't know if this rant is gonna go anywhere. I'll just keep talking until I feel like I don't want to anymore. But like, it's obviously that this place is more interesting. It's like Times Square and shit. It's just really annoying to watch game, because like I remember when I played this for the first time, like I was like, this is really cool, but it's also kind of really boring because you can't interact all that much. Surely, you know, the next game is just gonna blow this out of the water. That's what everybody thought. Like, GTA 5 is gonna blow this game out of the water. Like, it's gonna be the most immersive, most awesomest game ever. And in reality, like, I would say that GTA 5 was a very, very disappointing, inferior sequel to this one. Like, it fails on pretty much every level. Story, right? Like, characters, everything. Even the fucking, like, political... I'm not talking about the political stance of the game. I'm talking about the way they handled the politics talk, like the political what's it called? You know, the word satire. Yeah, even the political satire is way better in this game. This game is a discount Alex Jones, and I love it. Like, they literally have a guy who goes like, well, the fucking aliens, they're gonna come up and they're gonna team up with the demons and they're gonna fuck shit up. I actually like Alex Jones, but anyway, I don't know at which radio station he is. Maybe it's like, oh, independent. Yeah, see, look at that, Independence FM. Like, I almost completely forgot about that. Like, yeah, they have the, you can put in your own music, which then plays on these channels. It's awesome. Like, it's really awesome. That guy's watering the plants, because this is a park, and parks need maintenance. There's a statue of a dick. Not a real one, but it's implied. And I let the, and the thing is, like, in any other game, I would just be like, oh, fucking hell. Statue of that, really? But this game, I kind of tolerated. Because it puts so much work into everything.
Oh, no, that's not very kind. Yeah, go on.
What? These are the same people.
What has gotten into you?
She's Dutch. Oh, whatever. But, like, there's so much, like, this game puts so much detail into everything. Like, I don't even care. I don't even care this is a stupid, like, low IQ joke. Like, they earned that one. You know, like, it's... I think what really just gets to me, and, like, the reason why I wanted to make this video, is because... is that I think usually when you know, like, usually when you know you're playing a video game is when you're doing something that the game wasn't intended for, and you notice that the developers very obviously didn't take that into account. Like, I don't think GTA 4 was made primarily to just walk around and see the sights. But as you can see, they made absolutely sure that if it was, then that is clearly like what it was going to. The game, they made absolutely sure that the game was ready for that. It's so frustrating to just explore here and just, you know, like, look at all the fun stuff and just be like, yeah, oh man, I would love it if they did more than this. It's been like 12 years now, and they haven't done anything like it since. Because as far as I'm concerned, like, you know, as the, how do you say it, the torch, like, I think the torch has not been passed yet. I think GTA 4 still very clearly holds it as, you know, the not just the greatest, but also just has the most, like, interesting. Yeah, like, this whole area has a mod. This is not in the normal game, but this is an environment you are in the normal game. This is called the Great Robbery of, the thing, but I'm just going through here because, because I want to, you know, to be slightly more interesting, but yeah, like, they're so, yeah, actually, this place is a good example. Like, like, what we would have wanted from, like, a sequel to this game is, like, have a whole building full of rooms like this. Or like, be able to go into every single building. Well, obviously, that's still too much, even to this day, for computers to handle. But GTA 4 has plenty of environments you could go into that are very interesting. Like, they clearly want to, like whenever I play an old game, I always get the feeling like, if they had the resources of today, they would make, like, these insane masterpieces, like, just godly video games. Just glistening with detail. And other things. You know, like this is not really a point of praise, but I also kind of like how in the scripted, like, environments you only appear once. They even went through the extra effort of making destructible cover. See? Obviously, I would have loved it if that was everywhere. Like, if they put that everywhere. But, you know, it just shows that they care. Like, this is an area the player was going to be in to have one gunfight, basically. Like, there were going to be, like, 1 or 2 guys here, you were going to shoot them, and then you basically walked through it like this, and then never saw that pillar ever again in the game. But they still made sure to make it just to make the outer layer destructible, to add to the feeling of combat, you know? So, like, when you're sitting here, you know, you shoot at a guy, and that pillar just goes shit. Also, just this animation, like GTA 4 is, like, one of the last, like, third-person open-world games that still does a really good job with its, shooting mechanics. And the gun sounds are good. Like, the gun sounds are, I can actually hear them. Like, obviously, I've put the game at a much lower volume so that you guys can, hear me better, but seriously, what the fuck has happened to video game gun sounds? It's just gone to shit, man. It's just gone to shit. It's absolutely garbage nowadays. Hold on, let me go rob this shit. We can. All right. All right. So a bunch of dudes are gonna show up. I'll go shoot them. So by the way, when I get shot, I also react to getting shot. That's a mod I did. Yeah, that's the one bad thing about this game, is that they take cover too much, like, to a point that it's actually detrimental for them. But that was standard at the time. I can forgive them for that. Like, I do kind of wish they wouldn't expose their heads so obviously, but yeah. Let me just disable Nico's voice. I don't have anything against it, but I am playing as the mobster right now. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I can just make his voice the mobster. This guy's mobster number 1. Kitio706 used this model in one of his videos, so I often play it like this guy because I think he looks cool, and, you know, Kitty used him, so. Alright, let's see here. Should have probably done this before the video, but whatever. Like, it... I think as humanity, like, what we like to see is... Actually, let me just... Hold on. I actually almost had it right there. Alright, there we go. So now I have his voice.
You gonna move or what? Come on! Move that thing, you moron! Hey, get that thing the fuck out of my way!
The voice acting in this game is also several thousand times better than that in GTA 4, but that should go without saying. But yeah, let me just disable the cops, because I don't think we'll want to see me get violently shot to death. Hold on, what? Oh, okay, I'll just do it this way. There we go. Okay. And now the money is mine. But yeah, it's just like it's really frustrating that, like, you know, as humanity, I think we shut up. As humanity, I think what we all want, like when it comes to everything, you know, whether it's, you know, hydro, electric trains, or it's just or it's just as simple as like a fucking entertainment video game. We like to see progress. Now we love to compare ourselves with other things. We love it when there's new stuff that, you know, because like as much as we like may love movies like The Lion King or Star Wars or whatever, you know, like ideally we would love to see newer, better stuff come out that even that even makes that look bad, purely because we want to, you know, get something. We want to move forward. You know, we don't want to move backwards. Like we as you know, as human beings, we like to see progress. And whenever we don't have progress, whenever we go backwards, or we just remain at the exact same place we started, we always get disappointed. You know, very, very disappointed. And I think that, I think that, like, I don't know. Well, I mean, I think it's that we clearly don't want to be disappointed, but I think it's overall a negative thing for humanity, for things like this to just keep happening. You know, because like, and I mean, video games are about the most unimportant, you know, thing I can think of. But I don't think it's just, well, I mean, anyway, as video games are concerned, like, all this does is just make all of us into 40-year-old men that are like, everything used to be better when I was a kid. Everything used to be better. I'm 20, and I know I already said this, but I firmly remember the time when this game was gonna be, when we all thought this game was just gonna be some old crap that everybody was gonna forget about. Everyone was gonna forget about it. Nobody's gonna play this game anymore after the next one comes out. And now I'm just sitting here, bitterly, basically still playing this game to this day. For no other, I played it earlier this year, so like it's not like I just booted it right now. Like I do mean like I still play this right now, but I'm still bitterly playing this game. Basically, just wanting someone to come along and top it, but it just doesn't seem to be happening. Like, it's GTA 4. This game is not meant to be the game to end all open. This is not the open world game to end all other open world game, guys. Like, there's still a lot of detail here that could be added. You know, a lot of people try to do that via mods, but they don't have. Let's say the mods to this game are limited. That's one of them. The takedown mod. Works pretty well with the health regen mod. Oh god, that regens fast. Holy shit. Well, well, yeah, but I think the true disappointment in all this is just, you know, like, once again, a game was released that a lot of people were expecting a lot from, and it just had the impact of a wet fart. Like, it just, you know, like I remember when Halo 5 came out. Like, I never even played Halo 5, but like Halo 4, like I both loved and hated Halo 4. But when Halo 5 came out, it was like, oh my god. Like, they removed everything that was good about Halo 4 and just turned... Like, the only... Oh, I just accidentally activated the prone mod. But yeah. But yeah, like... and I know Halo is not an open world game, but still, like... Like, I remember when Halo 5 came out, it was just like... The only good thing about Halo 4... Like, the plot with, like, Cortana and how she's slowly falling to shit and how the game ends with her death. Like, they immediately undo it. Okay, fantastic. So what was the point of the previous game? What? And now, like, the gameplay is just Call of Duty. Like, it's just... I think, like, for the past, like, 10 years, there's been a very clear, like... incredible growing disconnect between the players and the developers and all that. Like, obviously, also the passion is clearly not existent in video games anymore. Like, all you need to know is just gun sounds in video games. Like, just listen to gun sounds. Like, they didn't used to all sound this pathetic. I don't think that's supposed to do that, but... You see, like a bug like that, I can forgive in this game, because everything else works so well. Look at that beautiful night sky, and the lighting doesn't make me want to vomit like in GTA 5. Actually, let's activate a thunderstorm, because that makes this shit more atmospheric anyway. Let's go. Look at that. Look at that rain. Look how beautiful that is. Seriously, the rain in fucking GTA 5 looks like such dog shit in comparison. Oh god. Funnily enough, it's actually higher FPS now because it's night. Yeah, let me freeze the time as well. I think I'm getting pretty close to the end of this video anyway. But yeah, like, it's just... I think for the longest time now, gaming is just... Like... Yeah, I think it's like what Mr. B-Tongue said. If you don't know who that is, go look him up. Like, Bobby the Tongue. Like, M.R. B-Tongue on YouTube. Like, it just... Like... Basically, to make a long story short, I think before video games were I think before video games were made to... I think primarily people who made video games wanted to tell a story and, you know, have people actually enjoy themselves because they liked the art form. You know, it was a new art form. Like, movies have been around for like about 100 years, and like, while I do think that they have been very good for a very long time, and there's still a couple of movies today that I actually like, you know, due to the political climate and all that, they're also rapidly falling to absolute shit. But more so than... Well, I don't know. I think video games enjoyed being, like, independent from movies and, you know, Hollywood and all that. And they could be whatever they wanted. Like, the GTA games, I'm pretty sure that these are mostly homages to Quentin Tarantino. And I mean, I hate the Quentin Tarantino. Well, I haven't seen all that many of them, but I'll just say I don't like his style of humor. Let me just put it that way. But you know, I like the game. You know, but but that's because, you know, different genres work. You know, like, what a genre I may hate in a movie form, like, you know, horror or something. Well, I can't. Well, I mean, if it's like Dead Space, then I do like it. But when it's like Amnesia, then I kind of hate it. But like Amnesia is like a horror game trying to be like a horror movie. Like, I hate it. But But yeah, it's like look at that. That is amazing. Look at these realistic boats. With the realistic water physics. What was so hard about... Why is it so impossible to... Whatever. Anyway, I should probably get this video to a logical conclusion, because otherwise I can just walk around Liberty City for like the whole day and not get anywhere. So anyway, basically, I think games have been like trying to find games have like enjoyed being independent from Hollywood and all that shit, and they could be more creative in what they were doing, you know. And I think for the most part, most of the things we really love about these older video games is stuff that was incidental. Like, I think...
Looks like you're up to no good. Always picking on Italian Americans, hey, officer?
That was beautiful. That was absolutely... That was just amazing. Did you see that? That was fantastic. Oh my god. Oh my god. I feel like that just... Wow. How does it even work? What? Wow. That was just beautiful. That was just beautiful to watch. Always picking on Italian Americans, eh, opposite? Oh my god. Well, anyway, like, I think in older games they put details in the game. Yeah, like shit like this. Ooh, look at that. Like, they put details in games not because, you know, they thought it was cool or whatever, or because because, you know, they just wanted to do... Like, they did it because it was fun. And because they thought it would be fun to, like, add, like, a little more layer of complexity to this thing. You know, to these games. And nowadays, it's like... It feels more like a checklist, you know? Like, oh, we gotta have... Look at that guy running away from the rain, actually giving a shit about the fact he's getting wet. Well, these guys don't, but that's because this guy has to stay here so he can give me a hot dog. No? No hot dog? What a jackass.
Try and hit me. Go on, try. Do I really gotta use this?
Yes, you do.
God damn it, my leg! Ah!
Oh, hey, look, there's a sound for the... But yeah, like, it's just, I don't know. I'm mostly like just this is mostly just a lament of everything. Oh yeah, all right. So mostly it's a checklist, you know. Like, we gotta have the gun, we gotta have an animation for the gun, we gotta put in a sprinting mechanic. Who cares if, you know, it's actually more fun to be able to still shoot while running, like in here. You know, we gotta have the sprinting mechanic. Even if the sprinting mechanic is like a jog speed like this, then, you know, like, there's so many games out there where this is your maximum speed, and this is your aiming speed. But in GTA 4, they know that that's neither realistic nor fun, so they let you do this little running thing. But yeah, anyway. Like, today games are made as just, like, a checklist. Like basically... Oh, shit. But yeah, basically, games back then... Like, before games were made... Before game companies made money to make games, and today, they just make games to make money. There's nothing else to it. Like, it's just... Why are all these games so broken? Like, why are they so unfinished? Because they make games to make money. Why is it missing, like, 500 details that were in the previous title? Because they're just making it to make money. Why is it soulless, and do the gun sounds suck so much? Or do all the animations look so terrible? And like, just soulless? And add absolutely nothing to the experience? Well, just because they make the game to make money. Why do we never get voice acting that iconic anymore? I love the helicopter voice guy in this game. He is so menacing. Look, the way he always shouts, "That's it." Yeah, there we go. That's exactly what I wanted him to say. The way these guys react to getting shot. And how they actually... They don't even chase you in cyberpunk77. You know that. They don't even chase you in a car. They don't even chase you in that game. This game is SWAT teams and the FBI shows up if you fuck shit up for them too much. Gaming is just... It's just cynical now. Like, that's the thing I'm realizing more than anything else. Like, I already knew that it was like this. Like, but... Like, we were always afraid it was going to become this, but it's very obvious that at this point, it's already that. Oh, look, that guy called the cops just now. This is what you get for... Okay. Yeah, well, anyway. It's all just cynical now. That's really what gets to me. Like, it's just... They don't care anymore. Like even GTA fucking 5, I would say, was more designed to be fun than games today. Like, it's just so cynical. Like, the trend of releasing games with a shitload of bugs, like, that should just make it blindly obvious to anyone who even remotely cares about this sort of thing that they're just rushing. They just want to make money. They don't care about the quality or the integrity. It's just like movies. Like, just appease whatever group, whatever psychopath group is out there, and that wants our money, or I mean that wants representation. And if we appease them, then we get their money. You know, you saw that you see that with movies obviously as well, but it just. I guess the phenomenon is more of a modern thing in general. Like, we have it a lot in today that in games and media, basically media in general, just today is just a lot less. But this shit with video games is especially disheartening because fucking shit. I wanted to press Q, the button to switch weapons when you're on the vehicle, but yeah. Oh, look, it's a gay person wearing a fucking coat on his back. That wouldn't be politically correct today. A particularly lucky gay person. Alright, look at the world. But it's just shut up, you stupid fucking background music. Yeah, it's just. What I find particularly disheartening is just that video games used to be all about fun. It was just fun. Like, it was just fun. Like, at its core, it was all just fun. Like, all this detail here, that is like surface level. Like, the cops acting like cops was done primarily just to help immerse the player in the world. So that once you actually got into the gameplay, you would be enjoying yourself because nothing would be... You know, it wasn't you know, it's sort of like Crobecat says in his comparison video between GTA 4 and 5. All these details, they add to the sandbox, they add to the random, you know, they add to the value of the game overall. Like, whether it's subtle or complex, they add to the value of the game. Look at that search thing. You don't see that anymore, do they? But nowadays, there's just nowadays I have trouble just saying that the games today even have value. Like, I don't know. Like, people say the story to cyberpunk77 is good. Oh, hey, look, the police have lost me, and that guy was still looking for me, and now he. Yeah, because that is something I do kind of like. Yeah, I should probably have installed the They Remember Your Vehicle mod, but whatever. Yeah, I think now that I've gotten away from... Oh, those SWAT vehicles were part of a roadblock. This is brilliant. Right, yeah, I think I'm gonna find a place to get off here, and then I'll end this video. I think this place ought to be good. But yeah, like, it's just... Hold on. It's not visible on the road. Alright, there we go. But yeah, like... The less details your game has, the less fun it is. And if it's on top of that also just absolutely fucked by a shitload of bugs that just ruin the whole fucking thing. It's just like how can CD Projekt Red like finish this? Or I mean fix this game? It's incredibly lacking in detail and it's bugged to hell. I mean, sure, they can totally fix it with an insane amount of patches and, you know, make it better, but is it really, like, they're not, like, it's sort of like not Star Citizen, it's sort of like No Man's Sky. Like, No Man's Sky is actually a really good game right now. It's a really, really, really good game. Like, I mean a really, really good game. Like, you should play it. You should play No Man's Sky. My uncle loves that game. He's been playing it for an insane amount of time. And it's really good. No Man's Sky is really good, guys. It's really good. But you will never forget the stigma that game had when it came out. That it wasn't what people were expecting. And even though it is what people were expecting now, or at least close to it, like, people will still just feel disappointed. Yeah, let's get in the... But yeah, like, people still feel disappointed about it, even though it's, you know, way better now. And that's because at the end of the day, you know, if you promise fun and then don't deliver on it, and then all you... That's... People don't forget that, and that's really what's just so sad about this. Like, Cyberpunk77, without... All that game had to be, it was just fun. And they couldn't even get that right. People are trying to enjoy the story, and they're teleported outside of their car, and they just can't have fun. Like, back in the old days, like, glitches would be something to laugh at. And while a lot of the glitches are pretty funny in Cyberpunk 77, it's just like, man, it's so obvious that you should not have released it in this state. Like, I don't know why it takes them this... I don't know why... Like, if you're gonna be honest, probably the reason why this game took so long and why it's still not finished is because CD Projekt Red just makes their employees work half to death in crunch time. So, of course they're not gonna work well. Game costs shouldn't be going up, it should be going down. You just outsource all that shit and not have these guys work half to death with their projects. I don't know. I think you guys understand. Like, I'm not even disappointed. Like, I didn't buy into the hype of the game, and I'm still disappointed. Like, I wasn't planning on buying it anytime soon, and I'm still disappointed by it. I wasn't... Like, I didn't even think it was gonna be a good game. Like I already knew it. Like, oh, they bring in like fucking they bring in Keanu Reeves to, like, you know, to jack up the you know, to jack up the sales so people get hyped because people like his terrible John Wick movies right now. So, you know, like, let's enjoy that. Like, yeah, bring him in. People love that. It was obvious that this game was gonna not do so well because it had been delayed and it had been delayed, but I guess common sense required me to assume that at the very least, it was going to be, you know, that at the very least the game was going to be somewhat functional, and it was just going to be disappointing on more of a general sense. You know, it's sort of like, you know, the sense a good game will, like, eventually be good. Like, oh, fuck. No, I don't want you to use this. I want to apologize. You see, that's what I mean. Like, this game is fun. Like, you don't get that kind of shit from anything today. But yeah, like, I'm gonna just fly myself to the top of a building here. And yeah, let's just go to the Get a Life building. But yeah, I'm just sit here for a few more minutes and then I'll end this. But yeah, like it's just sad that once again, for the umpteenth time, we have a game that people were hopeful at was going to change things, was going to actually improve something in the world of video games, and you know, people were expecting something innovative because, you know, it was like, it really, like, if you look at some of the early, like if you go back like fucking 8 years when it was first announced, like, that shit looked cool, really cool. You know, I'm like, when I played Deus Ex Human Revolution, I was kind of I kind of find the whole, you know, everybody augments themselves and gets robot arms and bullshit like that, I find that kind of silly, but it's still cool to think about, and it's optional. You know, you can not do that, but it's. I don't think there's anything worse than expecting greatness and not only not getting it, but instead of greatness, just getting something that hits about as hard as just, I don't know, like just. Well, I think what is truly a condemnation of the game is that it's not even on the same level. Like if the game was about as good as GTA 5 or something in terms of, like, interactivity with the world, then it would still be terrible, but at least it would be an acceptable kind of terrible. Like, after all, GTA 5 can still be enjoyed by me, even if I know in the back of my mind, like I'm sure that if I play GTA 5, like, I would be like, well, GTA 4 does that better, and GTA 4 does that better, and GTA 4 does that better. Like, but even then, I would still be like, okay, well, that at least is something. But it's always worse. It's always worse. It can never be better. It always has to be worse. Like, you know, if something, it's Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong, and that's just what's so. You know, that's why people are so. That's why they're spamming the glitches, because that's the only way for them to just sort of get over this feeling of hollowness that they're all with right now. You know, I should go stream XCOM 2. That is a sequel to a game that is actually good and actually better than the original, people say. Although, actually, I even heard a guy tell me that the new XCOM games kind of suck compared to the old one. That was very well timed. That was nice job, Thunder. Yeah. I guess this really is just what we can expect, you know? Like, we only get to have something like I know Star Wars is a movie, but you know, like, something on that level of quality. We only get to have that every, like... Well, no, that's not even true. Like, it was better before. Like, if we're gonna be truly honest here, like, sure, every generation of video games and movies have always had their own stinkers, but seriously, it didn't used to be this bad. Like, this game was considered bad for the time. Like, when it came out, people thought it was boring. It didn't have as many options as San Andreas to customize your character. You didn't have a lot of things. And yet this game looks like a fucking gazillion times better. And it came out in 2008. Whatever. The takeaway is that everything is terrible and greed can absolutely fuck and just absorb everything. And we are just sort of... Well, you know what? To give it a positive note, if we want to improve, or I mean, if we want this to get... If we want good games to be made, then we gotta make them ourselves. My last message to the world. Ah.